You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It's brewing, folks. It's brewing. You can't see it. You can't sense it with your eyes, or maybe you can. You can't sense it with your ears. Well, maybe you can. But it's brewing nonetheless. You can't ignore it. Well, I guess you can. And most people are. They're doing just that, folks. They're ignoring what is happening because it's not in their face every day, not in the way that they're used to. When your children are loud, right, you have to deal with them. When your spouse is loud, you have to deal with them. When your boss is loud, you have to deal with them. Oh, when the bank says you've got no money, you've got to deal with it. When the grocery store shelves are empty, you have to deal with it. And when you need to fill your gas tank, and if you're lucky, you're going to pay 2, 3, 4 times more than you had just the year before, you will deal with what is brewing right now. Folks, I used to make beer. That's right. 0 dark 30, and we're talking about beer. I used to make beer. And I would take all the ingredients and I would put them together. I'd prepare them. And beer would be the outcome. But it would take a while. It would take some time. But lo and behold, it would be beer. Right now, we're looking at all the ingredients that have been put together. Right? And I know what the outcome's going to be. It's brewing, folks, but it's not beer. We don't talk about economics a whole lot and finance. I mean, we do some. Right now, we're looking at the US dollar being propped up by a magician. Right now, it's a magician. Right? The dollar is strong. The dollar is great. Well, the dollar is just being compared to other bad currencies. And you may or may not be aware of this, but it's happening. It's real. And pretty soon, folks, the magician is going to be revealed. And you're not going to see a magic trick. But something is brewing, and it's going to come out. And it's not going to be beer. It's going to be a currency, shall we say, devaluation party. But not compared to other currencies. See, that's what they keep telling us, is the dollar strong, and compared to the other currencies, it's doing great. Well, Europe right now is in the throes of massive inflation. Oh, and we are too. But they just don't want to tell you. They've been playing this game with us for years, folks. $31 trillion in debt. That's just what they're telling us about. That is just what they're telling us about. And they want to hand billions of dollars to Ukraine. And they do. Folks, that's causing another thing to brew. Not only do we have a currency problem and a financial issue, not only do we have that, right, but we also have what? Currency problem, economic problem, recession in Europe. We've seen this story before. We've all seen it before. It happens, right? This is what happens when all the ingredients go together. Right? Europe is facing it. We're facing it. When the whole world is facing it, it's not a local problem, and it's not, shall we say, short term. Right? Everything is brewing right now. Economic crash. What are they doing to our food? Not only are we facing, well, very high inflation, right? We're looking at a coming food shortage. Now, if you can afford to buy food and it's available, well, it's an issue. You've got inflation, but if you cannot get the food and you cannot afford it, it becomes a crisis. That, folks, is brewing as well. All you have to do is look around. All you have to do is pay attention. All you have to do is read the news. And I'm glad you're here with me, 0 dark 30, blasting out of the bunker to go deal with reality. So, I'm not just hiding at the RMZ going, yeah, I read some stuff, things are bad. I'm not just sitting in the bunker saying, yep, things are bad. I'm out here witnessing it. I'm looking at gas prices, well, right now. And it's incredible. I've seen the California gas prices as well. I'm glad I left that turd hole of a place. But are you prepared, honestly? Have you done what you can to get ready? Not only with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and your means of self-defense, right? But do you have your plan? These people, folks, have been putting these ingredients together for a long time. And sadly, again, the outcome will not be a nice barrel of beer. It's going to be a big shit sandwich. And people don't like eating shit. They don't like it. Right now in Europe, speaking of shit, guess what they're trying to do with shit? Literally, people that have access to horse shit, guess what they're going to be doing with it? Well, they've begun to dry it, and they're going to burn it to keep their homes warm. Now, I don't know about you, but the idea of keeping horse shit in my home and then burning it is not a very satisfying prospect. It just isn't. But that is the situation there. They're going to be, and I just covered it the other day, they're burning trash. Anything that is combustible, they're burning. They're supposed to be reducing their carbon footprint. They're supposed to be concerned about the world, right? These global leaders, these banksters, these corporations, they're telling us, stop driving, stop flying, stop doing stuff, stop, while they continue their jet set ways and making money hand over fist. Folks, there is revolt brewing. There is disease brewing. There is famine brewing. There is ruination, and it is brewing. And it's not getting better. It's going to continue to get worse, in fact. At some point, things break. The straw that breaks the camel's back. When people are burning shit, horse shit, there's a problem. And by the way, there's not enough horse shit to heat all of Europe. I mean, that is the old way, folks, running a nation on horsepower, literally. That is very, very 19th century. The 1800s was the end of horse-powered world, whether it's horse-powered farming, horse-powered transportation. Those days are over, and they've been over for some time, well over 100 years. So there's not enough horses, and there's not enough hay, and that's really what you're burning there. Horse shit is hay. Can you see how this does not bode well? It just doesn't. It can't. It cannot end well. There is no way they go, well, I'm glad that you all burned that horse shit for 3 years. Now we can return to that other lifestyle you had. You see, what they're trying to do is bring people down to a level. These rich bastards want you to own nothing and be happy. They want you to eat bugs and be thankful. They want you to burn shit and freeze in your homes all winter and be satisfied and become used to it. Your standard of living drops. Now, here's a fact, folks. People who live in warm climates, they live in warm climates around the world because it is easier. Now, why is it that Europe, and I'm going to pick on Europe, why is it that Europe has been so prosperous for so many hundreds of years? relative to the rest of the world, even though it's a very cold winter climate. Well, it's because in order to survive in a cold climate, you've got to use your brains. You've got to work hard. It causes you to create better systems for living, to intelligently plan for your winters. And that promotes what? Well, only the strong survive, only the smart survive. So the strong and the smart continue to create improving systems for life. It's called civilization. It's called cultural and standard of living evolution. Things should get better, not worse. So why are they getting worse? Well, these people at the top want everyone to come down so they can feel like the superiors. They're a bunch of sadistic, cruel jackasses who want us to eat bugs, who want us to stay in our hovels, who want us to burn horse shit. And they want us to be cold in our homes and our beds. And they also want a vast majority of us to die and just go away. Are you prepared for the consequences, the fallout, the reaction by people who don't know, haven't paid attention, don't realize that there is more than just these harshnesses brewing? There is also violence. When people are hurt, scared, pissed off, they become very violent in their reactions. I hope you're fully prepared for all of it. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed. Semper Fi.